understand. Those who have children really understand. I want you to pay attention to something that you might not have seen before. At the very end of this text. And Moses said to Aaron, this is that the Lord spoke, saying, through them that near unto me I will be sanctified, and before the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. Aaron had a choice to make in a moment of time, and it's coming back to a choices we are going to be making. To run to his children, or what Yeshua called, let the dead bury the dead, or continue with the task that God placed in hand. It was a hard choice. And here's what the Torah says. Vayadom Aharon. Aaron decided to sit still, right? Holding his peace. That's not what the Bible said. The word Yadom in Hebrew comes from the Hebrew word dam. It says that Aaron was bleeding inside. He was bleeding inside because he had a choice to make. And the choice was hard because he is about to become as Messiah. Aaron is a picture of Messiah. And it's a choice that we have to. Beloved, you want to see the supernatural in your life. Learn how to be humble. Learn how to turn the other cheek around. Learn how to suffer when those who you love hurt you. It is hard, but because they hurt me and they wounded me. Anybody who's been in ministry know how many times people wound us. But you remember, Yeshua bled on the cross for us. How much more do we need to bleed for those around us? Amen? I know this is not easy, but here is the last one. This is in Zechariah chapter 13. It says there, and one shall say unto me, mother is wounded when I hang, and it shall say, those with which I was wounded. It doesn't say in the house of my friend. The Hebrew said, I was wounded in the house of my lovers. Friends, you want to get to the 8th level? The answer is quickly. How many of you want to get to the 8th level in relationships today in this place? With the Father and with your spouses and with your friends. Learn how to be willing to go to the cross and lay your own desire and your own life right there on the cross so people can be resurrected and see the crucified Messiah. I am telling you something. I tell it to my Jewish people all the time, I'm going to be willing to die if you be willing to come in. Apostle Paul stood up and said, blood to me! So I can come in. Can you believe that? Moses stood up and said, blood to me! What are you willing to do to see all of Israel being saved? You see, you don't need to be Jewish. You don't have to be more Jewish. That's not going to win into the world. What is going to win into the world? What's going to win the world to the Lord is seeing the love of the Father. Amen? Amen. And I have the very last principle for you. This principle has to do with the demeanor. And I'm telling you something, I feel in my gut that we don't have a lot of time. Anybody who's spiritually tuned probably feel the same thing. Something big is about to happen in the world. I am not a prophet, but I all the signs. I can see all the signs. The demeanor of the church, the demeanor of the Messianic community, the demeanor of the full body of Messiah have to change. I want you to pay attention to the demeanor. You've probably seen this picture before. It's Abraham with the 3 angels. Remember Genesis 18? This chapter in Genesis 18 with the angels is a picture of the demeanor that we have to go to the world and we are proclaiming the gospel. There's something wrong with the picture, probably. By the way, anybody catch what's wrong with this picture? You just suddenly say, "Come on in." But that's not what really happened in the story. See with me what actually happened in the story. It says the Lord appeared to him in the tabernacle of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day, and he lifted his eyes and looked. Three men stood over him, over against him. And when he saw them, he fed them. And it says in the Bible, and he took the curd and the milk and the calf which he had dressed, and said before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. I want you to pay attention for one word in Genesis 18. The word is mentioned 7 times. And he hurried, and he ran. The word here in the Hebrew, yarutz, ratz, literally means to run, not with your chicken with the head cut off, running with a purpose. More than anything else, the Lord has called us today, the body of Messiah, to be people of purpose. People who can see the finish line. People who say they're in the finish line, and we're going to cross it, and we're going to be victorious. Abraham knows that he has a vision. It's a picture of those who are saved, unsaved in the world, in the wilderness, thirsty and hungry. I want you to pay attention to something you might have never seen before. There are 3 positions of Abraham in the text. First, he is sitting. The text says he's sitting and the angels are above him. Then Abraham get up, and he's elevated, and he's in the same level as the angels. Angels start to running toward those who don't know Messiah. When you run to your brother, not walk, but run to your brethren, you are elevated from here to here. But look what's happening next. He said that he stood by them, right? Wrong. The Bible actually told us in the Hebrew that he was above them. He was elevated, ladies and gentlemen, above the angels. When you run to your brother, that's why Mark Chagall drew the picture like that. Abraham is above them. He is higher. I want to tell you that we can be the connectors of the heaven and the earth, and we can be elevated even above the angels. If we just change our demeanor to run, and not to run to be 3rd place or 4th place. Run with a purpose. Run. The same Hebrew word run Stop. Can you take me to the next slide?
That's the last slide.
That's the last slide. Okay, that's maybe a few from the Lord then. But I want to leave you with this. In Genesis 21, in the end of the conclusion, it says, and Abraham planted a tree. It's called a tamarisk tree. And do you wonder why Abraham planted a tamarisk tree? The word tamarisk in Hebrew is the word eshel. Everybody can say eshel. Eshel is actually an acronym for 3 things. Aleph, Shin, Lam. He fed them Aleph, Shin from the word Shkia. He gave them drink. And number 3, he gave them Livuy. That literally means he escorted them. Your greatest role today is not just to serve and pray and suffer, but I love it. You're taking these blankets to Mexico. You are feeding them with their need. You're meeting them where they're at. But I'm also sure that you're going to proclaim the gospel to them while you're there. And I know that you're going to escort them. It's not a one-time thing. You are there for the long haul. And we need people to know that the body of Messiah is here for the long haul. We're not a one-time trip. We're here to stay forever and ever until Messiah coming back. Amen? Hallelujah. Now let's tell something. How many of us... I know it was a pretty long message. But I'm telling you something. How many of you believe today that we are being this level and God wants us to elevate to another level? No, let me ask again. How many of us believe that we've been in a little trunks, diapers long enough and God wants us in the next level? So you believe this today, Pastor.